What a beautiful video. Thank you, Gary, for the music with that. And thank you, 7 days of rest. It is our seventh day of 7 days of rest and return to essence. And what a beautiful day it is to really focus in on the theme of kinship. So we're glad to bring you together again, and thank you all. I looked through the participants. Many of you have been here all 7 days. Like most of you have been here all 7 days. It's quite an honor to have this community gathering like this and really just embracing the intention for rest and what that means, not only for ourselves, but for our beautiful planet and all of those amazing animals we saw in that video. We're going to invite in our guest here in a minute, Gary Malkin, but I just want to say a few things before we do as we move into kinship, because oftentimes we think of kinship as our human species, our brothers and sisters, that kinship. And that video brings us into the space of really honoring all of life. So beautiful. Even the ladybugs and that spider web, like thinking about all our relationships with all of life. Such a beautiful thing. And as we turn our attention into all life, I want to just remind us where we're at on the planet. Like, we're in a really exciting time. It's 2023. People are feeling a shift in the energy. We're feeling this expansion. It seems like there was so much constriction and letting go in 2022, and it feels different. Everyone is saying how different it feels. And we're moving into a time of conscious evolution where literally our evolution biologists talk about species in their evolution. I'm going to just bring in Elizabeth Sahtouris for a moment. She says that as every species that's ever lived on this planet that has gone into an evolutionary process, they move from this place of overconsumption, over just that greed, that me, that I need to take care of me space, into running out of our resources and feeling just kind of bumped up, and this need for this evolutionary leap. And she says, really simply and beautifully, that every species that's ever done that turns to community. And they create cooperative communities that care for all life. So not just themselves anymore, not just their family or their smaller species, but they learn how to care for all the life around us. So this is a good time for us to bring in our guest. And let me just, by the way, say I'm Julie Krull, and I'm here hosting and opening us for Teresa Collins, who's in the California near the, I can't remember the, oh shoot, I'll look it up in a second. But Teresa is in the middle of the weather. Teresa is in the middle of lots of rain, torrential downfalls, potential landslides, and lots of flooding. It's Santa Cruz. There it is. Thank you. It came. Santa Cruz. She's south of Santa Cruz near the coast, and is preparing for another storm here momentarily. And then again, Monday, Tuesday, heavy rains continuing. So we send our hearts and our prayers for her safety and the safety of all those in that area on the West Coast that are really getting hit with weather, as well as others around our country here. So speaking of that, the opposite is our guest, Gary Malkin, who's in Hawaii. And I want to bring Gary in. He's a award-winning, Emmy award-winning musician, artist. You've seen him here with us on the Pulse many, many times. Beautiful music. And Gary is the perfect guest to have on this final day with us. And Gary just went whale watching. So I'm thinking of kinship and I'm thinking of the whales. And Gary, there you were yesterday with a whale experience that the whale just circled you and circled you, and you had a real intimate experience with the whales. And it's just a beautiful description of how life can coexist and cooperate together. So, welcome to this seventh day, Gary.
What an honor and a privilege. And, I've been in this land surrounded by the frequency of Mother Pele, of Gaia herself. And it has, and then to cap it with this totally unexpected, and I have a story to tell about it, whale experience that I have a little video at the end of our time together. Will give you a direct experience of what I experienced yesterday with some of the music put on it. Talk about flow. In less than 24 hours, we have something to share that will give you a direct experience of the kinship that I felt with our evolved creatures called the whales. And can't wait to share with you more about that. But this opportunity to hone in on where the frequency of place can transform our 37 trillion molecules or whatever we've got inside, to actually give it a chance to, like the Emoto crystalline images of water, to allow her to have her way with me these last 7 days, rather than doing another rest in resonance like I did last year. And I've kind of felt like that egoic part was like, I'm missing out on all that fun, and none of that was there. It was the privilege of being immersed in her lap these last days.
So Gary, that's a good place for us. Let's take a minute and just take a breath together. Mm-hmm. And I'm just going to invite you to not move a lot, because you're bumping your mic and it's going in and out a little bit. So I'm going to, yeah. So I'm just going to invite us to come into this presence, and then I want to hear your stories, and we'll talk more about kinship here. So let us just take a few breaths together, and just even imagining the oceans around us being like that whale in the beautiful ocean, just moving so smoothly. And focusing in on our heart space as we come together again, thinking about kinship. On the seventh day of rest, inviting us to listen to a granddaughter's voice, bringing her dinosaurs in. Do you want to come say hi really quick? Okay. And we're going to... Okay, good night. We're going down for a nap. And then we're going to kinship. This is my granddaughter, Willow, a 3-year-old who's expecting a baby brother. I wanted us to focus on the kinship of that whole universe that's within us as well. There's a whole world going on inside. And let's commune with that kinship. And just as that whale is moving in the oceans and the ocean is moving with all the life within it, so is our body. So is there this world within of everything cooperating together, collaborating, working together for the good of the whole of who we be. From the microbiome to the healthy bacteria that digests our food. There's so much life within. And with that idea of kinship, we come back in. Thank you, Gary, for letting me just interrupt you for a minute so we could come into this beautiful space together and come into our hearts and really contemplate kinship in a way that perhaps we've never thought of before. I'm thinking about that spider web and that ladybug in that opening video, and creating kinship with even the smallest of life we don't even see. So yeah, Gary, so share with us more. We have about 10 minutes until we're going to move into the Global Silent Minute. Thank you for letting me bring us into this space. And what's been on your mind with kinship? And I apologize for that distraction.
Wait a minute. What in God's name would want to make you want to apologize for what you just did? What you did was you gave me and everyone an opportunity to embody and transmit the vibrational frequency of clarity and kinship and all the 7 themes, including me. And so just even the part of you that would say apologize for that is like, let's just leave that at the door, because it is what you do. It's who you are. You are so embodying and committed to the unitive experience that you knew that there was an alignment that we could go through right now that would make us instruments of what we care to share, and not just talk about it, but embody it. So I just want to thank you for being Julie in the best way you know how, which is to bring it into clean alignment with the field. So thank you for that. I feel very different just after what you experienced. And everyone else, do you feel that too? It's like, and that was a perfect example of what I said was I had to go and do a macro of what Julie just did. I'm here for 11 days at the grace of a beloved friend who's given me this opportunity to be here. And what comes to heart right now that wants to be shared through me at this moment is about, I don't know how many years ago, was it 8 or 9 years ago, my dear, dear friend, Neil Rogan, who's one of the most amazing writers. He wrote a book called Delightment, with a subtitle that's the best subtitle in the universe, called Awakening or Escaping the Solitary Confinement of Our Prisonality. And I highly recommend you look on it for it online, Delightment. But he had the great honor and privilege to interview Mary Evelyn, I'm forgetting her last name now at the moment, and also Brian Swim. And we created this 14-minute film called The Awakening Universe. Please Google it if you can, or just go to theawakeninguniverse.com, I think. And it was when I was working on the score for that film, I'd never had an experience like this before, Julie. But when Brian Swim talks about we aren't in control of the earth or the stewards of the earth, we came out of the earth. And that we are kind of kin with everything, like 95% is all the same minerals and the same chemicals and the same, we are made of the same thing. And his favorite line that he said was, the world was once molten lava, but now sings opera. And I'm really called to remember that film because when I was scoring it, the great privilege of scoring film is you get to see things over and over again to try to feel what music wants to complete it so that people could receive the content cognitively with their heart and soul, not just their mind. That's what scoring is, really. And I noticed something changing in me in the days that followed that was fundamentally different than anything I'd ever experienced. It was almost like this figure ground switch was just sort of like, wait, what? What? We are all so inculcated to believing that we are some on top of or in control of. And when you really get that we came out of the earth and that we are the earth, all the things that the unitive movement and you and Dot and everybody and Michael Linfield had said yesterday, we are the earth, we are Gaians. When you really get that, what happened to me is I got that in this scoring process. And I actually have never been the same since. It's a fundamental shift. And that's what today is about for me, is the melting into the recognition that in our hearts and souls, not just our minds, that we are completely one with the field and with the whales that we'll be seeing later. And with every soul that's watching this right now, we are the imaginal cells that are a part of this great one butterfly heart that the Gaians are. So that's what I'm moved to share. And just how fundamentally different everything changed for me when I realized that we came out of the earth and that we are the earth.
I love that. Yeah, the whole nature of kinship with all life is a very different state of being. It is the unitive state of consciousness. And often we feel, and then I'm going to have you set up the video here, Gary, but often as spiritual seekers, we've felt that unity with spirit, right? Like we go into the oneness, the unity with all things, but we imagine that as spirit world, as whatever. And for a long time, we left the earth behind. It's like we transcend our body and go into ascension, which leaves the body. And this process of coming into kinship with all life brings us right into the substance and matter of earth itself as Gaian. And I'm going to let you set up the calling here in a second. But I've been working with Jude Currivan with her new book, The Story of Gaia. And when I read that book, it was as if all 13.8 billion years were me. It was the most incredible experience I had, that I was that bacteria. I fell in love with bacteria reading the book. And before I was like, ooh, bacteria, that's, So I think that there is something really important to this larger macro dosing of kinship, as well as that inward micro dosing of kinship that we're talking about here. You want to show a video? We're going to watch The Calling before the Global Silent Minute here. Do you want to just set that up briefly and then we'll play that?
Yeah. I ask for your forgiveness of not having a live piano with me to perform something, but because playing a song is kind of a sacrament. It's a form of liturgy. I call it entertainment, not entertainment. So please don't be fooled by the look that I'm a separate person performing something. I've chosen this song and I set it up for another community that I recorded the video for. So forgive me, but it'll be a way of practicing. I reference a community. Let's just assume it's you, even though it was for someone else originally. And just please don't get seduced into thinking I'm a separate being creating a song for entertaining or performing. This is an induction into some lyrics that are profound by the poetry performance artist, Kim Rosen, who wrote the lyrics, who we'll talk about another time, but she's amazing. And the words are a calling to our belonging to each other. So let that introduce the song, and I'll see you. We'll only have a couple minutes after that to get ready for the global coherence moment, the silent minute.
The global silent minute. Yes, we'll just go right in from this video to Dot Maver and the Global Silent Minute. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Gary Malkin, and I am thrilled to have been invited to share a little bit of song medicine to your and with your community. I represent my company and my world, wisdomoftheworld.com, and it's all about using the power of music as a kind of a medicine to awaken us to holy moments that enable us to remember who we are and what matters most so that we can connect to the best part of ourselves. I'm told that your theme today is about the land and our belonging to it. And I also believe that we not only belong to the land, but we came out of the land. The famous cosmologist Brian Swims said the world was once molten lava and now sings operas. We came out of the land and we belong to the land, and we are stewards of the land. And we have a lot to learn about that. So this song was inspired by the famous Rumi poem, Out in the Field Beyond Right and Wrong. I'll meet you there. And I hope you enjoy it. Dedicated to all of us who are struggling and challenged to be the best version of ourselves for the most consequential time of our lives. Will you take my hand, and together we will stand at the edge of time and the threshold of a land. This is our ancient home, the one we've always known. At the calling of this love, we come. Before time and breath, inside every life and death, behind each face, inside every grief and grace, there is a timeless call, alive inside it all. At the calling of this love, we come. Sing that with me. At the calling of this love, we come. I carry the ancestors with my breath, with their wisdom and their wounds. I follow the children beyond my death. This will be their planet soon. Between grace and ash, where the future meets the past. Between wing and flight, beyond thoughts of wrong and right, there is an ancient home inside the great unknown. At the calling of this love, we come. You take my hand, and together we will stand at the edge of time, on the threshold of a land. This is our ancient home, the one we've always known. At the calling of this love, we come. At the calling of this love, we come. Think of everything you love and feel that in your heart and sing. At the calling of this love, we come. At the calling of this love, we come. Where the heart has learned to feel, feeling all it takes to heal. At the calling of this love, we
Thank you, Gary. And as we prepare for our global silent minute, we presence with essence and radiate the love and joy and recognition of sacred kinship as our hearts unite across distance. The power of silence is greater than we know. It is in silence that we experience unity. Silence as action in sacred unity. So let us prepare to enter a global silent minute. With a deep breath, we activate the spirit of peace in our own hearts. And we unite our fiery hearts across distance. And now we invite all those on the other side of the veil to join us. The next thing you will hear is a Tibetan singing bowl as we, in loving kinship, radiate and pulse the accumulations gathered in our group chalice.
let us take care of the children, for they have a long way to go. Let us take care of the elders. They've come a long way, you know. Let us take care of those in between, for they are doing the work. Let us take care of our families, take care of the earth. Let us take care of the children, for they have a long way to go. Let us take care of the elders. They've come a long way, you know. Let us take care of those in between, for they are doing the work. Let us take care of the family, take care of the earth. Let us take care of the children, for they have a long way to go. Let us take care of the elders. They've come a long way, you know. Let us take care of those in between, for they are doing the work. Let us take care of our families, take care of the earth. Let us take care of our families, take care of the earth. Let us take care of our families, take care of the earth. As we settle in to this listening fire, we can marvel at the miracle of these vibrations entering our field and turning into biochemical, emotional energies, settling us and all our cells into the unitive, direct experience of the One. Let's be the witness almost as if we could see the cymatics of every one of our cells and our water in our body come into wholeness and beauty, to flow, to belonging. We are sensing our unifying capacity to drop into the one heart. Breathe into that sensing and witnessing together as we inhale 3 times. Inhale. Seconds, and then long exhale. It's as if every exhale gives us a chance to grow into even greater flow and coherence with our kinship with one another. Take another in-breath. Long exhale. Feel the cleansing, the aligning, unifying power of our breath together. Let's do another one, last one, not the last one, the last unified. Hear the one true note calling us home. Allow this soundtrack to make believe we're flying through the soul realms of the etheric and the akashic and the fields and dimensions beyond our awareness. The realm of the ancestors. Flying through the realm of the ancestors together. Allowing the music to be the wind under our coherence capacities. Actually feel that we are kings, that we are king. Your body, in your mind, your heart, your soul, lining all that up to a vertical straight up to the Godhead herself. There. Feel that the music helps our ability to explore inner space and who we are truly. Fractal of the whole. What is it that music helps us remember our women? implicit. Use the simplicity of these triadic harmonies and imagine an infinity wave of cool, clear, blue water in our hearts. Infinity sign. Feel the cleansing of this cool water. It aligns us with the infinity of unity experience. Surrender to the tones, the infinity wave, into the oneness of kinship with all life, everything in unity. Let the simplicity of this music allow us to be in kinship with presence. The essence of presence. Celebrate our kinship with the essence of resonance. As we resonate with this music, let's celebrate our kinship with the essence of radiance. We align ourselves to the simplicity and the profundity of tones. We celebrate our kinship with the essence of radiance. We move into celebrating our oneness with the essence of gratitude. celebrate our kinship, essence, frequency, clarity, the beauty of truth. Celebrate our kinship with essence, clarity. Feel these frequencies aligning our energies and ourselves on every scale as we honor kinship we have with kinship itself. I invite you to put your hands on your heart if you wish. To close for a moment. Feel the wave that we're pulsing right now in kinship with one another. Global Coherence Pulse family. Intimately understand what we're pulsing and why. Start opening your eyes. Come back into the space. Feel that infinity wave always operating in our hearts.
That was beautiful, Gary. Thank you. And as we come to day 7, let's pulse this out. This beautiful day and this essence of kinship, and let's pulse this out into the world. All 7 days, you called in all the essences. Gary, it was beautiful. Thank you. And we just wrapped this entire 7 days and all the beauty and all the restorative, creative energy, regenerative energies. We send that out to every corner of our planet, every continent, every country, to all those that need this more than we do. And remembering to send this to all those kin, our Gaian kin, whether that be those beautiful animals, the 4-leggeds, the 2-leggeds, the winged ones, the insects, the trees, all plant life. And remember to cover all those kin and bring that beautiful essence right back to ourselves. As Teresa always reminds us too, just bringing that all right back in to who we be in the kinship of life. Thank you, Gary. We had a request for that song again that was incredibly beautiful, and I'm not sure about time. We might want to just go through some of those videos. Is it okay? Should we invite that
Let's
in?
do it.
Okay,
Let's just stay with this and let that happen, and then we'll do the sharing.
perfect.
Just so you know, you're talking about the Take Care song, the short
Yeah.
little thing. Just so you know, that was from Angela Sarian quoting the Truth and Reconciliation Commission's prayer every morning. And I set that to music and just encourage you to sing along. And yeah, it's a beautiful song for belonging.
Okay, so Kaylin, the Take Care chant.
Let us take care of the children, for they have a long way to go. Let us take care of the elders. They've come a long way, you know. Let us take care of those in between, for they are doing the work. Let us take care of our families, take care of the earth. Let us take care of the children, for they have a long way to go. Let us take care of the elders. They've come a long way, you know. Let us take care of those in between, for they are doing the work. Let us take care of the family, take care of the earth. Let us take care of the children, for they have a long way to go. Let us take care of the elders. They've come a long way, you know. Let us take care of those in between, for they are doing the work. Let us take care of our families, take care of the earth. Let us take care of our families, take care of the earth. Let us take care of our families, take care of the earth.
It's not worth breaking silence right now. That was just gorgeous. Thank you, Gary. If you want to find that song, you can go to wisdomoftheworld.com and look at the Calling album. Wisdomoftheworld.com. Gary Malkin.
So it's time for the last piece, right? The video that I brought to you.
No, not yet, Gary.
Oh, okay,
And
sorry.
just so you know, Kalen wasn't able to download it because he doesn't have permission. So you're going to play it. Just so
Okay.
you know, he wasn't able to do that. But before we do that, we want to share a little bit about how people can
Oh,
find more
yes.
about you guys. Kalen
Sorry
has
about
some
that.
websites to. So we're going to do that first.
Okay.
So let's just bring up again Global Silent Minute. And as we've been saying all week, we started a theme of doing the Global Silent Minute every day. And we want to encourage everyone, Dot, to continue every day to use silence as a powerful tool for staying in this place of essence. So share a little bit about that.
Yeah, thank you, Teresa. Thank you, Gary, Julie, and Kaylin, everyone who's in the Zoom room and who is listening. And perhaps you're even listening beyond this exact day. And as Teresa said, every day at 9 p.m. GMT, which is 4 p.m. New York right now, we take 1 minute of silence with millions both sides of the veil and call for global cooperation, peace, and freedom, knowing that the original Big Ben silent minute helped to end World War II. Silence is so powerful. And so we take that minute every day. Do join us subjectively or on Facebook or in a Zoom room when we are with events like this. And it's a great joy, the health of the spirit, a great joy to share it. Thank you, Teresa, for the invitation this week.
Thank you, Dot. We want to keep bringing you back. And then, of course, Dr. Julie Show, Dr. Julie Kroll, and we have drjulie.com. You can go there. And the Dr. Julie Show, and so many things happening this year, Julie. I feel like you took a little year of a pause to really come into what was essential, and so much beautiful stuff's emerging. Why don't you just share a little bit about that?
Yeah, thank you. Actually, right when you said that about essential, I was thinking about these couple of new series we're doing on the Dr. Julie Show, and one I'm super excited that will be dropping really soon in a couple of weeks is a series called Main Street Mystics on the Dr. Julie Show with a co-host, Paul Mills, who's a scientist. We're bringing science and spiritual experience together. We're even bringing on scientists that have had spiritual experiences and the wisdom keepers. It's going to be so exciting to just hear authentic, down-to-earth voices talking about our mystical experiences, but also looking at how science and spirituality are really saying the same thing. So you can find that on thedrjulieshow.com, and everything is brand new on that tab. In 2022, everything was transitioned. So it's exciting to be releasing that now and dropping that in. So thank you. And stay tuned. There's more to come. And we're going to speak just briefly in a minute, Teresa, also about what you and I are working on together as well, which is really exciting. So thank you for that opportunity.
Thank you, Julie. And then Gary, we have two websites to look at today, Gary. One is the Islands of Inner Peace with Gaia. You're pretty excited about that. Congratulations on being one of the most popular episodes or things there on Gaia right now.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's such a stunning thing to find out that people are responding to contemplative content. I thought it would just be a tiny bubble, but it turns out people in 130 countries are loving these moments of state change media, to drop into coherence together and to do it with the beautiful wisdom of Lynn Twist and Reverend Michael Beckwith and Marianne Williamson and Sarah Crum and Deepak Chopra and all these beautiful people that I've had the great privilege to interview and record and set to music and images. So please check out the link on the chat. And I'm very excited about really putting a stake. I mean, mindfulness is going mainstream. And that's what's happening to the unitive narrative as well.
Thank you, Gary. And let's go to Gary's Wisdom of the World Wellness, where a lot of the songs that Gary shares, he has so much great content there. And if you sign up, to get his emails and stuff, you'll hear about exciting things he's doing. But Gary, tell us, how can we play with you a little bit more this year?
If you sign up to the community, you'll get all kinds of gifts and you'll get to practice pretty much everything that Wisdom of the World music is all about heart coherence cultivation. So can't go wrong there. And then also, I just want to invite whoever feels called to sign up for a soul song private session with me. I actually have promised Dot, Teresa, and Julie a complimentary soul song this year. So I hope that you'll take me up on that invitation. And it's an amazing opportunity to state your intention, your mission, your prayer for the best version of your evolutionary journey, and set it to a song that you can listen to for the rest of your life. And we'll record it and have it be a talismanic chant for you to sing. Affirms this wish that you've created yourself with me. So sign up at wisdomoftheworld.com/soul song. I'd love you to call me and let me know that.
Beautiful. Thank you, Gary. And then I just wanted just to remind us again about the 7 days of rest and return to essence, which has been a global event, not just what we're doing here on the Pulse, but there have been initiatives and things happening all around the world, events happening every single day. Thousands, maybe millions of people have been taking these first 7 days to really drop in and open our hearts more fully and give ourselves over and over again to love, so that no matter what we face going forward in this year, that we can choose love in all of those moments. Just choose it over and over again. So we want to thank Shelley Orstroff and Jan Golding for all of the efforts that they put into doing this. This is their 6th year, and will continue to participate every year in this beautiful, beautiful offering. And with 2 last things, and maybe Kaylin, we could just go to the slides of the 7 days first, unless you have the other one up and you want to do that one first. But just a little review of our 7 days. Here we go. I'm going to spotlight this. Go to gallery. Speaker view. Let's just go so we can see them full on. I'm just going to remove spotlights here so that we can see them. Here we go. All right. So remember our first day of presence, and Kadi J guided us so beautifully into ourselves, and really our opportunity to just hand ourselves over and over again to love. And then day 2, a beautiful day exploring resonance with Marshall and the Canyon Sisters, loving these images. And we had such a beautiful day of connecting in resonance with the whole of life at all scales. That was the invitation. And day 3, radiance with Jennifer and Maitreya, just feeling that natural radiance that naturally resonates from us as we come into presence and we connect in with the field of all life. We're naturally radiating that love into the world. And then day 4, we had Julie Kroll and we had Justin Michael Williams with gratitude. Boy, that was a day you could just feel it in the field, our gratitude for showing up and for taking this time, our gratitude for ourselves and for this community and for each other and for the opportunity to be in this life. It felt so potent. And then day 5, we had Dear Dot. We had Tammy with her beautiful harp that inspired us so much. We had Wendy Thompson, and we really dove into the power of silence and really the power of Mount Kailash, and really feeling the strength of our silence can actually stop a war. Like we can actually do something powerful with our collective silence. And then day 6, yesterday, another beautiful day with Michael Linfield and Theo Grace with clarity, the clarity of being that arises from taking the time to be present and open up to the truth of who we are. And then here we are today, day 7, kinship with each other, kinship with the animals, with all of life. Beautiful day. And thank you for Julie and Dot and Gary for such a beautiful sharing today. And here is the final slide from the 7 days of rest, inviting us to as these days of rest and return to essence come to a close, we invite you to create a sacred space to honor and celebrate this journey and nourish the seeds that have been planted with love and generosity by so many around the world. And it's true that everything that rose in our hearts over this week are seeds that are now planted in the garden of this community and in the garden of the field that we all share. And wait till spring comes and the energy that's ready to uplift us begins to bloom in full glory, in loving grace. So thank you all for joining us and coming and doing this for yourself first and foremost. Because when we do it for ourselves first and foremost, we're full and we're present, and our love can actually then go and share and uplift everything around us. Wow, 7 days, we did it. And we have one last slide, as Julie was saying, that the good of the whole and the islands of coherence and the global coherence pulse and unify and Gary with wisdom of the world and Dot with Global Silent Minute, and so many others are joining together to create a social environment away from Facebook and those places where they're deciding what you see and they're deciding the kind of content that you get, which includes a lot of ads for things that we just don't need, to a place that we can come where the focus is nourishing and uplifting our capacity to live for the good of the whole and joining together as a powerful force of change. So be looking for that. It's coming soon. So we're going to have one last bit of music from Gary Malcolm. I know we're going a little over, but it's the last day, and so we don't want to leave too soon. And after that music, we will stick around for some community time, which we've been doing every day. If you haven't stayed around, you really should, because it's so nourishing and uplifting to connect with others from around the world. So we'll go to our last offering today. Gary, that's going to be you. I'll add you to the spotlight there.
Well, I only just realized that you hadn't been hearing me very well before, and you can hear me now, right? It's probably because of the music. So I probably didn't mix it right. But yeah, so I want to share just a little intro because we're over, but I wanted you to get, I mean, how often does this happen that you have an experience that is absolutely extraordinary and magical, and then within less than 24 hours, you have a video with my music that will give you an experience of what we had an experience yesterday. We were on a boat open to receive kinship with the whales. You know, they have very strict laws. You don't go towards these animals, you allow them to come to you. And it wasn't happening. There was nothing happening. And we were just sort of praying and opening. And the woman that helped us with this was Pamela Poland, beloved old friend and singer-songwriter that I've known for many years. And she's a master of Hulu chant. And so she uttered this Hulu chant to call in what wants to happen from the field 3 times in classic Hawaiian Hulu language, right? And lo and behold, this is what happened within minutes after the 3 chants, and I'm going to share it with you now. And you see this. You see that? Do you see that video?
Yes, Gary.
Yes.
Great, thank you.
Did you hear your computer sound?
Yes, I know I'm sharing computer sound and video.
Okay, we see
All
it.
right, here we go. So that was made by Richard Marks, a phenomenal photographer and videographer. And you got to directly experience what we went through for over a half an hour. They stayed with us. And it was, all I could say is there was something going on in the field when we were there, mesmerized in grateful presence, in the presence of these great beings. And I hope that you got a little taste of it by experiencing Richard Marx's beautiful video he put together for us overnight, literally at 2:30 in the morning last night. Richard, if you're listening, thank you for that. And thank you for giving us such a direct experience of what kinship is by these species. And we noticed in the background the roosters crowing, and almost a way of unifying the land and the sea. So thank you for letting me share this with you all, and blessings.
Thank you, Gary. I'm so glad you got to have that experience there in Hawaii. What a blessing as part of your own journey. And thank you, Dot and Julie and Gary, for today, and everyone that joined, whether just today or a few days or every day. This community is such a precious gift, and what we're doing here has a huge impact on the whole of life. We can really know that and trust that and radiate that and be that. So I hope that you'll stay around, and if you can't, take this love out into the world and shine it out. And anytime you feel the need, you're feeling just a little down, or you're in the dark for a moment, just remember that you are held in a field of love in this community, and that we have you. We have your back. We're here for you, and you can count on this love no matter where you are. So blessings, everyone. If you need to leave, have a glorious day, and if you can stay,